Welcome to a very delayed, very overdue What the Did I Just Read? We are continuing with the Banned Books edition, and I'm just going to go right in there. We're going to go into the world of Gilead with Margaret Atwood, The Handmaiden's Tale, right? So, as always, my trusty little notebook, because I have a better mind mouth connection when I write it. I'm ancient, guys. I am old. Okay, so Margaret Atwood is a Scorpio, even though I'm a Gemini. She was born in 39. She is Canadian. She is a Harvard graduate. All right, so let's talk about a quick synopsis. I have read this book a couple of times. I never saw the actual series, though it is on my to be viewed list to view the series, so we'll see where that goes, okay? So we are in the Republic of Gilead. It is a theocratic society. Theocratic society. If anybody ever saw back in the 80s, Frank Zappa, who was a musician, and he complained about the Ronald Reagan administration, how Ronald Reagan started uh, the US government down a theocratic society. So, if you don't know what a theocratic society is, it's a society where the laws are made according to a religion. Okay? The laws are made according to a religion. And the problem with that is especially here in the US, let's say that that's what's happening here, is that there's not just one religion, right? And in doing that, you tend to exclude a lot of people. So like I said, it's a system of government that's ruled in the name of God or a God, right? The female is Offred, and as we go along, in the book, you're getting flashbacks, more specifically about her husband Luke, and how we get to where we're at. All right. And the sole purpose, like, so, and, we're going back and forth. And the sole purpose you find out of the handmaidens is to bear children. That's it. That's all they're good for. So, like, they'll bear their children for a wealthy couple or a wealthy family, and then they don't get to see that child ever again. Okay? Um, and this happened in this book, right? Because of low birth rates. One might even say that Mrs. Atwood might be prophetic. Anyway, but it's stated in the book that it's environmental, okay? There's no female agency, right? They don't have a say over how they live their lives or what they do with their body, okay? And this is all due to the theocratic government, okay? To me, um, as I read this book, it is a fascist theocratic society, right? So it's like very militant, very controlled, um, and we already all know how this ends. If we watched the shows, it's pretty, like, from what I understand, on par with the book. So it ends with people standing up, people protesting, people saying, this is not what I want. I want to have a say over my body. I don't want for people to tell me how to live, what to do. And we're already seeing that. So, like, the question, there's a question that's set out every single generation. Does art imitate life, or does life imitate? This book came out in the 80s, and it's very much like this this wasn't a discussion, this wasn't an issue really back then. But now it is an issue, it is a discussion. And we need to sit down sometimes and just think about why people say, books shouldn't be political. But in almost every single book that you read, there's always a political message. And I don't think authors can really help that, right? Um, we as authors are people that are just influenced by our external environment. And if it's such a hugely political, politically charged environment, then it's our writing is going to be influenced by that, right? So in my book, The Unraveled Worlds, I put in a tidbit in there about um the military, and more specifically the government, right? Not caring about the people at large. And even though my son is in the military, I do believe that our country doesn't really care about the people at large. Or more, it's probably more likely like the there are more people that don't care and become politicians for the profit than there are people that do care. And because we have that now, we are seeing some Handmaiden Tales-esque things going on. So again, think about it. Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? And is Margaret Atwood prophetic, or was she just paying attention?